Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Charles Peace. In today's video, we'll be making a beautiful peplum top. Now we use Duchess fabric for it. This is a yard of it and a lining and a matching thread. So let's get started. Now the first side I'll be cutting will be the half length before the peplum. The length of the top will be 25 inches. Now my half length is 17 inches. I will go ahead and add extra 1 inch to make it 18 inches for the length. My half length is 16 inches plus 1 inch. I will make it altogether 17 inches. Now my shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided into 2 will give me 8 inches plus half inch seam allowance, that is 8.5 inches. My armhole 9 inches. So guys, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell icon to be notified anytime I upload a new video. My bust point is 11.5 inches. Then from this point, I will now mark my bust measurement. Now from this bust point, which is 11.5, I will take my bust measurement, which is 38 inches divided into 4 will give me 9.5 inches. I'll go ahead and add extra 2 inches allowance. My waist measurement is 33 divided into 4 will give me 8.2 inches. I'll go ahead and add 2 inches allowance. I'll mark my shoulder slope, 1 inch shoulder slope. From the neckline, I will mark 3.5 inches. Then I will join this shoulder slope here. So I have 8 inches here, half of it will be 4 inches. Then I'll come in by half an inch. Then I'll curve my armhole. I want it to be princess dart cut, so I will mark my bust to bust measurement is 7 inches. I'll go ahead and add extra 1 inch allowance, making it 4 inches. So I'll mark 4 inches threads. I'll be stopping at this bust point, which is 11.5. Now, from this point to this point, I will divide it into 2 and extend. This is 5 inches. 5 inches divided into 2 will give me 4.5. Then I will extend this point to this point. Now, from this bust point, I will extend it to this shoulder line here. From this waistline, I'll remove half inch at the right side and half inch at the left side. Then connect it to this bust point here. So I will not cut it out now until I cut the back pieces, but I will first of all iron it so that I will get a straight measurement. Now I've already ironed it. I will go ahead and mark my neckline. The front neckline, I will make it 5 inches. But I will not cut it out now. After cutting the back pieces, I will go ahead and cut out the neckline. I will be cutting the normal side, and I will not cut out the dart as well after cutting the back. For the back, I'll add only 1 inch for the zip allowance. Now I'll place the front and the back pieces together. I'll put a notch at the zipper side. For the back neckline, I will use 2 inches. So I'll go ahead and cut out the princess cut. Then I'll go ahead and cut out the front one. Now this is the 2 back pieces, and why this is the front pieces. You can see that. So this is the front pieces. This is the center front, this is the 2 sides. Right, this is the back pieces. This is one side of the back. This is the second side of the back pieces. Can see. So the next thing we'll be cutting will be the peplum. I'll put this aside to cut the peplum. Now for the peplum, I'll be folding my fabric into 4 pieces. Now my waist measurement is 33 inches divided by 6.28, which is the standard division for peplum. 6.28, it will give me 5.3 approximately. So altogether plus the seam allowance, I will make it 6 inches. So I'll be using the radius of 4 inches. For the measurement, I'm using 14 by 14 inches. That is my measurement. So I'll go ahead and mark 4 1/4, that is 4.2 inches will be my radius. 4.2 inches. So this is 4.2 inches here. So if I measure it, this is 6.5 inches. The ½ inch will be for the turning of the lining. Okay, so altogether I'm having 6.5 inches because I don't want it to be short. Instead of being short, I'll plait it. So after marking 4.2 inches, now the length should be 9.5 inches. I'll go ahead and mark 9. It's supposed to be 9 inches, but the ½ inch will be for the seam allowance. So I'll go ahead and cut out the peplum first. Then I'll cut out the radius. I'll open up one side of the peplum. Now for the sleeve, length of the sleeve is 14 inches. This is 14 inches. So I'll go down by 3.5 inches here. I'll go ahead and divide it into 2. This is my round sleeve is 14 inches. Divided into 2 will be 7 inches. For my upper arm is 7 inches. So I went ahead to add extra 1.5 inches. So I will divide this length into 2. What I have here is 4 1/4, which is here. So from this point I will curve it. See, I'm curving it from this 4 point to match with this upper side, just to slope it down. Okay, can see. Now cut the same thing at this upper side will be the same thing at the down part, because I'll be pleating it here. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out. I'll place it to cut exactly the same thing for the second sleeve. After cutting out the second sleeve, the next thing I'll be cutting will be the lining. Now at this down part, I will use the same material to plaint it, because I want it to have a plaint at the down part. So I will cut out a piece I will use as the band. For the band, I will use the width of 2.5 inches. That is, by opening it up, it's 4.5 inches. 4.5 inches. Then the length will be 11 inches. I'll cut it into 2 pieces. This will serve as the band. I'll make it 12 inches. After sewing, if I need to trim it off, I will trim it off, just to make sure it's not shortened. So I'll cut second one of the sleeve and the band. Then I'll cut the lining before we go over the sewing aspects. The first thing I will cut for the lining will be the peplum. I'll fold the lining the same way I folded the fabric into 4 pieces, 4 equal parts. Then I'll place the peplum exactly the same way I placed the lining. The double-sided part should rhyme with the double-sided part of the lining. Now I'll go ahead and cut it out. I'll go ahead and open up one side, the same side that I open in the main fabric. The sleeve will not be having lining, so I'll go ahead and cut out for the front and the back pieces. Now for the sleeve, we are making bishop sleeve. So guys, the length I'm having here is 19 inches. 19 by 14.5. This is on fold. That is, if I open it up, it should be 29 inches. Now I folded my fabric into 4 equal pieces, because I'm cutting the 2 sleeves together. So the first thing to mark, my round sleeve is 14 inches. Divided into 2 will give me 7. I added extra 2 inches allowance, making it 9 inches. I'll mark 9 inches here. From this point, I will mark 4 inches. That is 4 inches. Then from this point, I will take it down to this side. Then I'll go ahead and curve it like so. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. Then I'll go ahead and put a notch at this point, which is the shoulder point. So if I open it up, this is how it looks. Then the down part will be having band. I'll go ahead and fold my fabric into 4 as well. I'll mark 4.5 inches I want the band to be 2 inches. I'll go ahead and open it. Now my round sleeve is 10 inches divided into 2 give me 5 inches. I'll go ahead and add. My round sleeve is 10 inches, that is right at this elbow. The measurement is 10 inches. So if I divide it into, it will give me 5 inches. Then I'll add extra, because it's a band, I'll add extra 1.5 so that by the time I'm through sewing, I can cut off the excess to avoid it being short. So I'll go ahead and measure 6.5 inches, that is extra 1.5 inches. The width is 4.5 and the length is 13 inches. You can see if you open it up, the length is 13 while the width is 4.5. So this will serve as my band. So guys, we are done with the cutting. The next day will be sewing aspect of it. So guys, we have actually cut all the parts. This is the peplum, the front pieces, the 2 back pieces and the sleeve. So the first thing we'll do is to join all the princess cut together. The same thing with the lining. This is one side of the back. I'll place the second side and sew. The same way I will sew the lining. This is the second side. I will as well place the other side and sew. I'm sewing with 1/2 inch. The same thing to the lining. Is for the front. I will open it up, place one side and sew with 1/2 inch as well. After sewing, I will place the second side. Now I'll use my office pin to hold it together. So I'll go now and sew through. The same thing I'll do to other pieces. I'll use my pin to put them together, then I'll sew. Now after joining it, I will place the lining. I'll place my lining like so, and I'll sew through the neckline. I'll close up the neckline and the 2 sides with 1/2 inch. The same thing I'll do to the 2 back pieces. I'll sew through the neckline, the zipper side and the other side. After sewing through, then I will turn my peplum. I will join it at the downside round. After sewing through, I will fold it in with 1/2 inch so that by the time I turn it, the lining will not show. Then I'll close it up the 2 sides. So after then, I'll show you the next thing I'll be doing. While these are the 2 back pieces, I'll face the right side facing each other. I'll pick the lining as well. The shoulder side should match the shoulder side of the lining. You can see how I place it. Make sure the edges are aligned. The same thing I'll do to the second side. One side will be for the fabrics and one side for the lining. The two pieces coming together, I'll secure it with my office pin. I'll go to my sewing machine and join the two shoulder line before I'll close up the two sides. Now I've joined the two shoulder line together. You can see the seam line should match each other. So the next thing I'll be working with will be the sleeve. I want to attach the sleeve before I close it up. Now place the sleeve like so. I'll fold it into two equal sides. Then I'll put a notch at the midpoint. The same thing I'll do to the second side. Now this is the band. I will as well put a notch at the midpoint of the band. Then I'll open it up. The next thing I'll do is to pleat my sleeve to match. I'll just leave half an inch at the two edges. I'll leave half an inch in all the four edges. I'll go ahead and make a pleat. I'll pleat it. The midpoint should rhyme with this midpoint. The next thing I'll do after sewing the sleeve, I've already attached it to the band. You can see. I'll go ahead and place the right side facing each other. I will join the sleeve, the two sleeves. After then, I'll show you the next thing I'll do. I'll place it like so. The same thing to the second side. Now I want to shape the sides. My bust measurement is 38 divided into 2 will give me 19 inches. I have 20 inches here. If I mark 19 inches, I have 1 inch left. That means I will use ½ inch and shape it by the two sides. ½ inch here and ½ inch here. My waist measurement is 33 inches divided into 2. My waist measurement is 33 divided into 2 will give me 16.5. So altogether I will use ½ inch to shape it. Then from the sleeve side, my round sleeve is 10 inches. I will mark divided into 2 will give me 5 inches, but I don't want it to be too tight. If you want it to be too tight, you can go with that 5 inch, but I will go with 5 1/4. Then from this point, I'll close it. Then at this side, I'll use 1/2 inch and shape the sleeve. I'll use 1/2 inch to shape it in this at the two sides, but the band I'm using 5 1/4. After shaping the two sides, the next thing is to join my peplum. After shaping it out, I'll go ahead and join my peplum like so, right side facing each other. I will join the waistline to the peplum. You can see. So the last thing I'll be adding after joining the peplum, the last thing will be to sew the zipper. Add the zipper, then I'll show you the final look of the top. After sewing, this is how it looks. You can see the top. This is the bishop sleeve and the back. So guys, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell icon to be notified anytime I upload a new video. Give it a thumbs up, share to your friends, and bye until I see my next video. Bye.